After seeing what the shell looked like, I'm like, ugh, I don't think so. Well. Hey everybody, how's it going, Todd, the Cheap Drums guy. Long time no see. Yeah, it's been a minute. Last time, when we left off, I was converting a 13-inch Pulse brand rack tom into a snare drum. Well, that kind of changed a little bit. That 13-inch Pulse rack tom was purchased to accentuate a Pearl sound check kit. They're all black drums, black hardware, and I saw this one solitary tom in a Guitar Center in Wisconsin. So I opted to buy it to add to my Pearl set because the Pearl kit toms were a 10 and 12, and having a 10, 12, 13, 16 was, sounded pretty cool at the time. Well, I donated that Pearl set to a co-worker's son, and who has since done a lot of really cool things. Not only is he playing it quite often, his mother is, because his mother also took percussion in school. I believe the kid had a live performance at the school about 3 weeks ago, and he was playing one of the school drum sets, and I guess he did, very, very well. So I'm really happy that's turned out really well for him. Also, my set of Sabian XS20s, I didn't give them to him, but they're over at his house. He's being able to use them as need be until he gets his own set, and then they'll come back to me. Meanwhile, I'm here with something quite familiar, not fully intact, and nothing really matches as well as it did before, but that's the Army Green drum set, or what's left of it. So anywho, back to that 13-inch tom. Well, 13-inch tom was going to be supplied with parts from this drum, which is that one, it's that Ludwig, what's it called? It's one of the cheap Ludwig drums, but I put that cricket wrap on there, that brass wrap, brass as in shells, brass shells go with the Army drum set. And I was going to take the strainer off this one because I really don't like the strainer on this one. So I was just going to put it on that. But I set this down and hit it a few times. I'm like, wow, that sounds pretty decent. And it's got that Aquarian high energy head on it. That head is really made to take a beating. And sure enough, this thing will take a beating. So I'm like, well, maybe I don't want to scrap that after all, or I don't want to take the strainer off it after all. And I opted to keep this. And as I'm messing with the snare, I'm like, I really miss that drum set. It was completely taken apart. Tension rods in one box here. All these lugs in another box. Shells, well, one shell is gone. Cut up. The other drums, the other shells, narrowly missed being cut up. But I'm thinking I really like that drum set, and to tell you the truth, out of all my projects I've done, I felt I'm most accomplished by doing that Army set. So I started the laborious process of putting everything back together, finding all the parts. Not everything is true the way it was before. I mean, parts aren't exactly matching up perfectly, but that's all right. It goes together fine, and it's working well. The snare bomb is back here as a 14-inch floor tom. I liked it better as a floor tom. I rarely ever used the snare bomb, and I just liked what you get with it as a floor tom, so I opted just to change it back. The strainer's still on there, and I'll end up taking that off and just keep as a spare somewhere. But I think I might paint over a lot of this and match it up with the rest of the drum set so it all looks like a complete set. I still have enough decals left over. Snare bomb was kind of cool. I thought it was a neat idea, but in all actuality I really didn't use it in practice. So, and as far as the 13-inch snare goes, I mean, you know, I've got enough snare drums, you can see behind me. Some of these might be going away later on. It might be going down to Grand Rapids and to the Guitar Center down there and sell them, or not sell them. How do you do? I don't know exactly how. They give you so much credit, and they'll take your equipment, give you so much credit for it, and it might allow me to buy something brand new down the road. I'm not sure what I'm going to do exactly yet. But the 13-inch snare, do I really need a 13-inch snare? I don't. I have my little Pearl M80 here that works great, a little side snare. I have enough of these snares. I don't need to make a cheap snare drum that's just going to sit on the shelf. So I opted just to make it a high tom, a rack tom, so to speak, or whatever. You see the 12-inch is gone. A 13-inch, yeah, 13-inch is a little bit, a little thuddier. If anybody ever, like AC/DC drummer Phil Rudd, that beautiful sonar kit he uses. His toms are as follows. He has a 14, he has a 16, and he has an 18. Well, that's a whopper. So I'm going to have a 13, 14, 16, and a 20, because I got the UFO right here. Yeah, if you guys haven't seen this, yeah, that's my homemade UFO drum. And let me tell you, this 20-inch UFO in conjunction with the 16-inch floor tom, well, let's just say Thunderstruck is a lot. My playing's improved quite a bit. You haven't seen, because I haven't been here in 2 months, but I figured out some things with Phil Rudd. I actually kind of figured out his groove, and I can step into it, and I've been having a lot of fun with it. It's a lot of absolute work, and I'm not exactly getting any younger. But we need a tom for this kit to resurrect it. So let's finish that 13, shall we? Yeah. So this is the 13-inch shell. Man, when I got that wrap off it, you know, a lot of drum sets, or a lot of companies, like inexpensive ones, I assume are probably made by Pearl, just because they're one of the biggest drum producers out there. And not their facilities here in the United States to make the custom drums, but the run of the day, or the run of the mill, everyday, inexpensive ones. And I thought Pulse might have made theirs as well, but this shell is absolutely terrible. Oh my gosh. Where is it? Right here. This is where the wrap was, and pulling that wrap off, the whole bloody thing just came apart. There's a lot of damage to it. I really don't feel that motivated to fix it, considering it's just going to be sitting back here facing me. I'm the only one who's going to see it. I mean, it's not like, you know, I host events down here at all, because no one would show up. But anyways, and most of the hardware will cover some of it up anyways, so. And this is always the fun part, putting the crap back together. So that's what's been going on around here. Let's see. My grandson Dawson had his 4th birthday yesterday, and more importantly, our dog Ranger had his 4th birthday also. Ranger got a cheeseburger from Burger King. No, Dawson's a good kid. He got a bumper car. He got these little, him and his brother both, because his brother's a little hellion, and so they're constantly fighting amongst themselves. So their mom and dad got them each bumper cars. Here you go beat the hell out of each other. Leave us alone. So that's pretty cool, I think. God, really, it's just been work. Work. Today's a really rainy day. It's been raining all weekend, unfortunately. Well, not really, because I didn't want to do any yard work. But it's just been constantly raining. We have very little snow left, and if anybody is in need of leaves and dog poop, I've got plenty of it out in my front yard. You're welcome to come get some. I'll put my address in the description there. Just come to Traverse City, Michigan, and yep, here we are. But this has always been one of my least favorite activities. It seems like putting these things back together. So, these will be alright. One thing you have to watch out for when you're putting drum hardware back together, if you see inside there, inside that drum lug, there's a spring in there. Quite often, more often than not, on some of these brands, the spring will be quite loose. So anytime, because of the vibrations, every time you hit it, the drum talking to itself between the two heads, the vibrations of it will cause these springs to vibrate and make a lot of excessive noise. So you want to make sure that those springs are in there good and tight and they're not going to move around. If they are, all you have to do is stick a piece of cotton in there, like half a cotton ball, shove it in there, put the lug back on, and you're good to hook. Mine, I won't have to with this, but I was thinking about doing something on this kit. I mean, this is the cheaper than cheap kit. Half of it is that $30 drum set I got. The other half of it is that, what is it, $100 kit. That, well, both kits combined, that's what this kit is. It's really inexpensive. I don't want to use a lot of muffling on it. However, I got Evans EC2s on it, which are, they're a dual head with the sound ring in it, and despite the size of the heads, they're still quite loud. And I have to tame them down with the big Evans patches. But I would like to find some sheet foam, like a padding that with the adhesive on the one side, where I can cut it to fit inside these drums. So it would always have an internal dampener inside the shell, make it a nice warm sounding kit. I want this kit, you know, as cheap as this thing is and much changes this thing's been through, this will probably be my last kit, the kit I end up with keeping the longest out of anything else. Don't get me wrong, I love the Premiers. I have thought about this. Now, believe it or not, I've actually thought about when I start slimming down the majority of my drum horde, is that the Premiers might go away. Sans for a few of the snares. I like the kits. If I keep any of them, it'll be the Olympic kit, because just the mahogany, it sounds really super good. My end goal here with all this is to get it down to a real manageable amount of stuff, and I'm getting that way already by getting rid of a drum set. But by selling stuff back to Guitar Center, there's actually, like the APK kit. I bought the APK kit for $250. APKs now on Guitar Center are going for over $600. So the prices, there's more of a demand. I don't know if it's a demand for them, but they're getting more for a kit now, and they're selling them more. So what the heck, I could end up making a little bit off it. But I would like to get a brand new kit. I haven't experienced opening a brand new kit, and I thought that would be pretty super cool and special. And I'm not, why not? I think I'm deserving. I'm the cheap drums guy. I'm, loved by dozens. All right, for that offhand comment I made about my wife, I keep forgetting one thing. My wife watches crime shows left and right, like cold case files, left and right. So if I disappear forever, nobody knows where I am. Somebody go talk to my wife. Yeah. She probably arranged for me to meet my demise, and I probably did. So, who knows? But keep an eye on her. All right. So, as I was tinkering with, there we go. As I was tinkering with the shell, and I started putting a screwdriver on the screws and turning them, ended up doing the whole drum with just this little screwdriver. Then I went and checked on the drill that I was charging up. Well, my support staff put the battery in the charger, but never plugged the charger in, so it's so hard to get good help these days. So anywho, so where is it? There. Oh, that's the. Okay, is that the one I had cut up? No. Okay, that's the. Well, I was having an issue trying to find a head for it. Thank you. So it came with this head on when I first bought it. That was on the resonant side. It's actually kind of thick, and it would probably make for a good resonant head, and I might end up using it. But I also have a brand new ambassador that I could go on because I want to achieve a heavier sound with this kit. I think I'll probably go with the original thick pulse head, just for the fact that I'm not going to use it on anything else. I got other drums with the 13-inch toms that, you know, could use this if this accident happens. But also for the batter head, I was trying to figure out what to do, and I have a few heads that I could use. I have Remo Emperors, 13-inch Remo Emperors I could still use. I have Evans G2, and I also have an Evans black chrome left. If you remember the Pearl set that I did send away over to my friend's house, whoops, it had all the black chrome heads on it. This is the only one left, so because it's a nice double ply, I probably end up using this, just for the fact that I don't have a match set for them anymore. So, and the black will look pretty cool with the green, and already it's starting to take shape, and this thing's gonna be badass. I mean, look at the size of this thing. It's gonna be a whopper. Yeah, she's gonna be big. Hopefully I got some more decals left, or decals, whatever you want to call them. But let me get the tension rods on these monkeys and see where we're left with here. Oh man. Here we are at this again. And of course, I don't have my glasses with me down here. Alright. $70 to $75, just say for resonant. This is a big drum, and it's going to be challenging to get it to sit right there next to the bass drum. Resonant thin clear, 70 to 75. Alright, here we go with this. Figure out which one's which on here first. Okay, there's 70. And I don't care what you say about the drum dial. I love it. look at that. Man, that decal just keeps... Yeah, buddy. All right, that's the back end. That's the back ass outwards right there. I should put it right in the thing. Now, one last one, I think. I might have a couple more in there, but there's a crappy spot. That's the crappy spot. All right. Oh, look at that. My God. That's just so easy. Oh, not the center, up a little. Well. You know, you guys really should try these kind of projects on your own. You gotta watch me all the time. So this way I can watch you guys and critique you guys. Please be on there straight. I can't really tell. If not, I'm sure someone's going to tell me. Oh, there we go. It's not perfect, but it's perfectly good. Booyah! Oh, shit, it's off. Oh, well. It'll be alright. Gosh darn it. It's off by like a fraction of a millimeter. Good enough. We'll just say Pearl did it. Losers. Anyways, so that's done. Now, boy, it is raining outside. CDG custom. All right, that's it. The Army Green drum set is complete once again. Just don't look too closely. Some of the parts don't match anymore, but there she is. So that's the end of that project, and it turned out pretty good, and I'm happier now that it's a tom instead of a snare that I'm never going to use. So it's going to mate well with that drum set. It sounds pretty good. It's loud, it's thunderous. That's my rock and roll. If I feel froggy and want to play AC/DC, that's the kit I'll go to. But so it turned out pretty good. I probably should have changed my shirt when I started playing because I'm sweating like a hooker in church. Oh my gosh. But anyways, not exactly sure when I'll be back. Not exactly sure if I'll be back at my age. You never know. Everything that happens, you question. It's like, is this it? Is this the end? So we'll see. But anyways, I'm Todd the Cheap Drums Guy. You people take care, and I'll talk to you later. Peace.